Hi everyone, Alexa here from the blog theduvallhomestead.com, where I share farm-to-table recipes and homemade natural living. And today is part 3 of our patio makeover series, and we're going to show you how to build this DIY freestanding patio cover. So I'm here with my husband John because he is the one who has built this amazing patio cover. We really wanted a cover for our patio because there is a door here that leads right inside our house, and we'd always get rained on. We would be barbecuing in the rain, and we just really wanted to be covered and have a nice little outdoor addition to our house, basically. However, our city does not allow us to build a roof extension from our house because we have to get permits,
yeah,
right?
It has to be permitted.
And it's just a whole difficult process. So we wanted to be able to build a freestanding cover. So I'm going to show you a little clip of what this looked like before we created this cover and what it will look like after, and then we're going to take you step by step how we did it. Don't forget, this is part 3 in a series, and next week we will have a new update on what we are doing underneath the cover, which you can barely see probably behind me what is already there. We found plans on Etsy to build this cover, but we modified it a little bit for our own needs. So we're going to talk about exactly what we did to modify the plans and kind of what was different, and I'll leave a link below to the plans that we used if you want to find them, but you'll just have to tailor it to fit whatever size, of course, your patio cover will be. So I'm going to pass this over to John to talk about how he built this cover.
Yeah, so we wanted to build a cover, and we already had an aggregate slab here underneath our patio deck. So what we did was I measured the location of the frame posts on the aggregate with chalk, and then marked it in each location. Then what I did was I used a hammer drill with a 1/2-inch masonry bit to drill holes into the concrete at the center of each location where the posts would go. So there's 6 posts here, so at the center of each location. When you're drilling the holes, it really helps to back out the drill bit every couple passes. Make sure you're wearing gloves and goggles and a mask, and then have someone hold a leaf blower to blow the dust because it gets pretty dusty. And then also wear work gloves because your hands are going to be pretty fatigued after drilling 6 holes. Once all the holes are drilled, then place your Z-Max 4x4 post holders in each location. Then what you're going to want to do is grab your 3-inch concrete anchors. So that's what's actually anchoring the post holder into the concrete, is the concrete anchor. We used 3-inch in length and 1/2-inch diameter concrete anchors. And so what you'll do is you'll put the anchor in the drill location, then hammer it down into place, leaving about a 1/4 inch, maybe a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch of the material above. And so, because you still need to put a nut over the anchor. Then you're going to get a socket wrench and socket wrench it down into place, making sure that the bolt doesn't pop up and obstruct the location of where the 4x4 post is going to sit in the holder. So the length of the concrete anchors that you're going to need are going to be dependent on the concrete slab that you have at your house. So you're going to need to know the depth of the concrete slab. Our concrete slab was 3 inches, so we want 3-inch anchors. So at this point, what you're going to want to do is build your patio cover. Once all the post holders are anchored and it's time to frame up your patio cover, this helps to have 2 sets of hands to make sure everything is framed correctly. At each frame joint for this specific patio cover, I wanted to be more secure, so I added a 3-inch or 3/8-inch lag screw at every angle location. I did that to be just super secure. We get a lot of snow here, and I just wanted to make sure that the frame was going to last a long time, so I used...
And we did have a snowstorm, a really big snowstorm. And it did last. Yeah,
so you're going to want to make sure that the lag screws that you're using are exterior galvanized lag screws. They're a little bit more expensive, but you can get them at Home Depot. At the joint location in between each, I also added a plate to hold the wood together. That's an exterior galvanized plate to frame 2 pieces of wood together. And then additionally, at all of the purlin locations where it met with the frame, I added a 2x4 rafter hanger to add another layer of security. And like my wife said, we had 10 inches of snow, 8 inches of snow, I think.
No, maybe. I think it was more. It was over a foot.
Yeah, it was a lot of snow.
A lot of snow.
and then it turned to ice, and the patio cover held up perfect.
Yes.
So after all the framing is complete, it's time to add the roof. So we went with the polycarbonate foam roof from Home Depot. You'll need to overlap the panels about 7 inches to account for this in your planning. The roof manufacturer had screws and then also spacers that we used underneath to make sure that the roof was fastened correctly. These screws have little washers, and you're going to screw them in at the ridges of the panel, so there's not water that's directly hitting them all the time. They're going to sit at the top. You can get all of these materials at Home Depot. We went with a company called Suntop. Is the company. Once the roof is on, it's time to seal any exterior facing softwood. So the softwood would be here.
That's the non-treated wood, right?
Yeah, non-treated wood.
Non-treated.
The treated wood, the pressure treated wood, are all the posts.
The posts are the pressure treated.
So we sealed the softwood with linseed oil, which helps with waterproofing. We get a lot of wet weather here, so we just wanted to make sure that the cover lasted a long time. Other than that, that's pretty much it. It's a really simple project once everything's framed correctly. I think the hardest part for me was doing all the miter cuts, because you have to make sure that the roof is at a certain pitch, but the Etsy plans were really easy to follow. The owner of the plans was very responsive. I asked him a lot of questions, and he was super helpful with providing us all the information that we needed, so I really recommend those plans.
Did you talk about the things you put on the top of the roof that we had to pick up in Hawaii?
Yeah, so for the spacers, they didn't have them in our location where
Roof
we live.
space. What are they called? Roof spacers?
The spacers underneath. We had to. For some reason, they only had them in Hawaii, but you can order them online and have them shipped to your Home Depot location.
But you'd recommend those?
Yeah, I'd recommend getting what you need. So they're going to match with whatever the polycarbonate roofing panels are. You have to get the appropriate spacer.
And how long did it take you?
It took about 2 weekends back to back consecutively. I would suggest getting an 8-foot ladder, because the ladder I had was 6 foot, and it was a little bit unsafe. So get a ladder that's going to allow you to be safe when you're up there working on the rafters and screwing everything in. Outside of that, it was a really, really simple build. Happy we got it. Really happy.
And then what about the lights?
Yeah, as a finishing touch, we added exterior lights and speakers. The exterior lights, we had a location outside where we had an exterior light already, but it was pretty small. So what we did was went on Amazon and got a little attachment that screws into that light socket and turns it into an outlet. And then we plugged in some exterior string lights and wrapped those around the roof, and it gives it a really nice feel at night.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much it.
More to come on the decor underneath the roof, which you can't see because we're hiding it behind us. That'll be next week. Well, thanks, John, for showing us how to build a patio cover. If you have any questions, let us know in the comments below. I hope you found this helpful, especially if you are like us and you want a freestanding cover and you don't have to mess with attaching it to your house or roofing or anything like that. Well, if you're brand new, please hit that subscribe button. Every week I post a new video on farm-to-table recipes and homemade natural living. Usually it's just me, but I'm really happy that John is joining us for this patio makeover series. So make sure you subscribe so you see the next video. Thank you so much for stopping by the Duvall Homestead.